One. Okay. So, good afternoon to all members of mentorship for Gen X and Gen Y. And it's been a while, although I think the last month meron tayong interview from one of our members, no, from Quezon, si Jonah. And we have another member to share with us. Medyo ang team natin naman hindi nawawala on our COVID experience, so how we help each other during this time. Kasi when we started this group, no, yung nag-start tayo mag-lockdown and almost, 2 years na pala, magto 2 years na tayo. And I think even now na medyo at some point or at some instances medyo mas relax tayo, we still need each other, no, to help, no, yung support in terms of our mental health or even just listening or sharing, no. It helps a lot to cope in this situation. So we have now, no, our guest member. She's 23 years. Binilang ko to. 23 years in development work. I primarily more on finance, but she managed an NGO, a Cebu-based NGO, but I think national na rin, no? National na rin yung NGO na to in terms of the operations. And she's currently the management service manager. Tama ba? More of the support services. She's leading the admin, finance, and HR of a leading NGO in the Philippines. And she's a certified public accountant. But moreover, mas gusto ko i-highlight yung shinare niya na she believed that we can always be better by learning new things. And I believe that also. So let's welcome our member, Cauchie Garcia. Hi, Cauchie.
Good afternoon, Miss A.
Nice to see you virtually again.
Oo. Likewise.
Cauchie and I have known each other for years, and it's a good thing now we finally find the schedule for this. And actually, knowing each other, we learn from each other, and that's the reason then I invited people to join this group so that we can share, no. Also, hindi lang doon sa mga close friends natin, pero other members, no, na makakatulong tayo even in this way na mapapanood or mapapakinggan nila, no, yung ating discussion. And who knows, tayo-tayo lang din naman to. Someday the other members can also share. I know marami pa tayo naka-line up, mga schedules lang yung mga hinihintay or parang ako lang din katatapos ng strat plan. So Cauchie, no, as we have discussed earlier, gusto natin i-share doon sa ating mga members because we have members who are managing also teams. Most of our members are employed. So yung experience working during the pandemic. Baka pwede mo i-share una ano ba yung mga biggest challenges na nakaharap ninyo, no, as an organization or as a team for the past almost 2 years.
COVID is a novel situation. Ibig sabihin, nobody knows what tomorrow will bring. Nobody knows how to address it better. So ang challenge doon, we don't know what to do, how to react, how to respond. Ang nakikita ko lang na benefit, I think with the team, we created a response team. So ito yung mga palaging nagmo-monitor what's going on. Tapos ang i-highlight ko siguro yung calibrated response. Ibig sabihin, as we know more about the situation, as we get information how others are doing it, as we know the rules of the government na lumalabas, that's we calibrate. So we improve as we implement. And yan, parang trial and error. Kasi wala nga siyang playbook that you can follow. So you have to, walang best practice outside how to do it. So wala kang pwedeng pakungkopyahan, but parang, sige, pag hindi mag-work, baguhin natin itong rules na to, medyo hindi tama. And hindi lang sa response team, we were able to get feedback from the community, from the team talaga, from the staff, o tama ba to, feedback. And thankfully naman nag-share din yung iba. So we had sessions like how they do work from home. So
Mm.
binibideo namin sila paano yung setup
Oh.
nila sa bahay, ano yung highlight nila, ano yung routine nila. So whatever works for them, yun ang sinishare namin. So we had a
Mm.
half-day session ng katuwaan. And yun na, learning from each other, like what you said, especially in situations where things are uncertain, you're not familiar. So yun ang experience namin, Miss A.
Yeah, that's nice to know, ha? Even sharing yung situation or even how your work from home office looks like. Kasi iba-iba ang
Yes.
organizations eh. Ako, if I may share, I work with a project, no? And global yung project. But it's a practice sa amin naman that when I came in, pag internal meetings, um, off-cam kami. One is to save bandwidth and I don't know what the other kasi the global kami sometimes very early in the morning or late at night. So if they have partners lang then or other meeting attendees outside the organization, we set up the camera, no? But yun na, iba-iba yung organization eh. Pero I think yung it's the first time that I've heard yung ganong activity kasi even that no parang it's something really new, no, na actually
Yeah.
before parang um anyway your HR din yung policy na parang 'di ba parang especially kung support team ka or backroom ka, talaga alam mo na ang trabaho mo nasa opisina na kasi andun yung data mo, andun yung laptop mo, yung computer mo, 'di ba lahat ng files mo nandoon. And it's really a big transition na bigla tayong hinugot, no? At dito ka na, no? Dito ka sa bahay magtatrabaho. I think more than the logistics is really the mindset na parang how people cope up doon sa not going to work, na when you wake up, bubuksan mo lang yung laptop mo, 'di ba? Tapos you need to start working or even disciplining yourself to parang to start the day working. Baka meron kang ma-share something doon sa kung paano nag-adjust yung mga team members na share nila during that sessions.
One siguro just a reaction to what you said is that we in the HR group recognizes that one situation is different from another situation to another situation. So we were happy that there were staff who were able to transition quite quickly. Mabilis, walang smooth. Meron din namang nahihirapan for a couple of weeks, months. Meron ding talagang hindi. And there were valid reasons. So we do not judge and we accept. Mataas ang awareness namin. So there were staff like like asking us na pwedeng mag-report kasi youngest ako sa bahay. Pag nakikita ko ng nanay ko, inuutusan ako. So oo, and so meron din kaming case na gustong mag-report sa office kasi yung wala silang area. So ang bahay nila maliit. So dining yung ginagamit nila sa So kumakain yung iba habang nagtatrabaho siya. Affected yung concentration or focus niya. So while we have general policies and guidelines, we are mindful that there are unique situations that will hamper the productivity of that staff. Then we gladly parang customize our guidelines to that person, making sure na medyo win-win naman na so nung iba na prefers to work sa office, we make sure that the office is they're safe. Hanggang ngayon proud yung executive director namin telling mas safe ako sa opisina. So ganun yung in-ensure namin that pag pumunta ka sa opisina, we are quite sure na hindi ka magkaka-transmit dito, hindi ka mai-infect dito sa office. So ganon. So yun, that acknowledgement that one situation is very different from others. So what we do, mga highlights lang, baka nag-work to sa akin, baka mag-work sa inyo, yung iba, hindi yan nag-work sa akin sa gabi kasi ako. So meron din kaming gabi, ang i-share naman niya, i-highlight niya, yung medyo gabi ako alive, so ganito yung strategy ko, ganito, this is how I organize things. So a series of parang best practices that they can pick on na medyo customized sa kanila. So yun ang sharing And I cannot overemphasize yung communication.
Mm.
For those listening that may not be managing teams but are team members, wag niyo pong pahuhulain yung team leader ninyo kung ano yung sitwasyon ninyo. Feel free to communicate. You'll be surprised of their compassion. Ang request lang ng mga managers or team leaders, pasabi na lang kung anong sitwasyon mo. Kailangan mong kumuha ng module pag Friday, 10:00 ng umaga, pasabi po. Para we will not schedule the meeting Friday 10 a.m. Yung mga ganon. So hindi naman sila hindi flexible, but they need you to communicate to them your situation at home and the need, the kind of help or assistance that you need and understanding that you need at home. Yun, Miss A.
Yeah, so you mentioned yung communication tsaka yung value talaga ng listening eh. Na lalo na doon sa panahon ngayon na we become more sensitive dun sa needs ng bawat isa. Kasi this is a special special occasion in a way na hindi tayo handa. Pero at the same time, we can adapt. And siguro yung talagang deeper understanding na sa situation kasi nga mas na-test tayo eh. Nabanggit mo yung module, sumabay yun eh. Kasi kung yun yung bata na uutusan ng nanay, para sumabay pa yon na nag-work from home ang mother naman na nag-work, tapos yung anak, obligado siya ngayon tulungan yung anak for the module kasi ganoon din yung setup ng mga bata. So very challenging even for the moms who have kids working.
Yung compassion, yung sinasabi kong understanding the situation, ang na-observe ko after 2 years, that's two-way. Hindi lang po yung employer towards the employee. Reciprocal. Kung anong nararamdaman ng empleyado na compassionate yung employer, I'm pretty sure that the employee will do the same to the employer. So compassionate din siya, making sure nagagawa ko yung trabaho ko kasi maapektuhan yung other team members ng office or may hindi makakatanggap ng funding yung partners namin. So hindi siya one way, just like to emphasize that as well. Two-way po itong compassion. So kung sinong unang nagbigay, tingin ko employer dapat. Tapos marireceive din yan ng employer later on na kahit say compassionate sa akin, I will do the same to the employer. And rightly so, na ano naman yun, mutual benefit ang ending doon sa sitwasyon na gano'n.
During the first months, I was listening to a Go Negosyo webinar. I think he is I forgot his full name, yung owner ng Pepsodent. So tinanong siya, how do you cope up yung situation na ganito nung facilitator? And the first thing he said was to listen to the people. Yun yung talagang una niya, to address their needs. No? Kasi, I mean, even if you're a businessman, you wanted your business to run, wala namang mangyayari, di ba? Kung hindi ka mag-address sa needs ng mga tao, lalo na ngayon. But as you mentioned, yun na nga yung kailangan ma-encourage din yung mga staff or team members to really be vocal and to really share what's really happening and not put it like a guessing game. Kasi kahit manggaling sa employer or sa mga heads, hindi naman nila alam yung bawat sitwasyon like the examples that you give. So it's really a lot of work no to encourage yung ganung but I guess yun yung isang beauty na lumabas dito during the pandemic when people acted differently na mas naging caring, yung show of concern for each other kaysa doon sa, kasi complacent tayo dati maganda yung natin maganda yung panahon natin. Ngayon, alam natin we need each other to survive. So somehow, ganun siguro din yung naging situation. And maganda din na siguro mas naging deeper yung pagkilala ng bawat isa doon sa mga team members during this time.
I'd just like to add that during the course of the pandemic, there were informal structures that came about. So meron kaming mga support groups informally, hindi yan initiated ng HR. So we have meron kaming group chat na Titas of Abada. Para kasi wala na, you cannot go out and buy your food. So meron kaming papapicturean namin yung pagkain namin, ganito ang itong ingredients nito, ganito pagluto. So we enjoyed that, parang learning from each other. Pagkain yun, not work related, but somehow will help us cope with the situation. Meron kaming PPE, Parents Exchange. So ito naman mga parent employee no, so ano yung hurdles nila being the teachers at home, ano yung mga tips, ganun. So ang daming informal support groups na nag-mushroom, and that's nice to hanggang ngayon actually nabubuhay pa rin yung mga groups na yon, helping, yun ang sabi mo, helping each other, depende sa need nila.
Parang itong GC natin na at least 300 plus na tayo, kahit sa ganitong,
diba?
Na we can learn. Sometimes kasi naghahanap ka, hindi mo mahanap eh. Baka sa pakikinig mo doon mo mahanap yung sagot, no, or yung advice na hinihingi mo. So, sa'yo naman personally, no, kasi it's really a big work na na lahat tayo nagulat, and parang sabi ko nga, talagang na it's something for us na nabuhay sa panahon na to, na dinaanan natin yung ganito. Kasi pag nakikinig tayo ng mga panahon ng giyera, yung panahon ng gano'n, minsan naisip mo, buti hindi natin naranas no? Pero ito iba naman. So, at that time na ikaw yung head ng HR, or admin and finance, na pumutok yung pandemic na to, personally, ikaw din, how did you deal with the situation?
I'm a creature of habit. So, very difficult for me. But I did not resist. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung nag-work sa akin, doon ako. So, yun ang personal experience ko. But I also, it's important, hindi kailangan lahat alam mo eh. Ako, in my experience, we got experts. So, we have a doctor, infectious disease specialist, who talks to us from time to time that I can text. Baka mali yung ko. So mga ganon, yung ability to connect, kasi mas alam nila. We had a psychologist, very young lady, very good, you should meet her. So ang sinasabi if you feel this way, that's okay, you are normal. If you feel grieving kasi you miss those times that you were out with your family in Cebu, ganon, what you're feeling is okay. So parang ganon. But do not dwell doon. Ano yung action mo, ano yung response mo. And true enough, yun, ngayon natutuwa ako sa mga plants kasi nga wala nang ability to go outside. So naaaliw-aliw ako ng pag-ganon sa mga So you begin to discover new habits and new practices. And basta hindi lang basta, ang experience ko sa sarili ko, dapat mataas ang self-awareness kasi otherwise niloloko mo lang sarili mo if you don't know what struggles you and how you can help yourself as well. So yun yung mga ginagawa at nangyayari. Hindi naman natatapos. There are setbacks from time to time, and that's okay. Hindi kasi siya sustained agad. If you go through this, tuloy-tuloy na yan, hindi totoo yon. Meron yan. Frustrate ka ulit from time to time. But that's okay. Ibig sabihin, I look at my past and check how I was able to overcome. So that's needed for me to overcome this new mountain ulit. So parang ganon. Medyo chill lang. Ayun.
Nice. Talagang I think yung pandemic din it parang may recognition din do sa sarili natin. We discover something new, no, sa sarili natin na kaya ko palang gawin to, na before na hindi mo maiisip na gagawin mo, or hindi mo or iniisip mo na hindi mo kayang gawin. Pero pag nandun na, makakagawa ka talaga ng paraan eh. Especially if people rely on you.
And those din yung dapat bantayan ng mga managers in this group or team leaders, that the priorities of the individuals change after the pandemic. So what they used to like, what are their plans in the past may be different 2-3 years after the pandemic. So mataas dapat ang awareness natin, situational awareness, that their priorities many years ago may be different from now. And sabi nga, one is health, taking care for their future now. So mga ganon, nag-iiba kasi noon parang ano lang, ano yun, FOMO ba yun? Parang you only live once, mga ganon na ano. Ngayon hindi na, you have to make sure that you're able to plan now for future. Nag-iibang priorities.
So, since na-mention mo na yung mga dapat i-consider din ng ilang members natin na team leaders or nagma-manage ng mga respective teams nila, ano pa yung additional things that from your experience you would like to share with them to really motivate their staff na even with this situation, hindi nag-wind down yung talagang passion dun sa work, hindi natatalo ng takot or pangamba na hindi yung mga dati na mga performers, kung naaapektuhan sila, paano na may maintain yun, or generally encourage the whole team to aside from supporting each other is syempre nandun pa rin yung business goals na dapat magawa. Yeah.
I'd say that in this very volatile nga, di ba, uncertain, it's for sure that things will be more quantum, mas mabilis ang galaw, mas mabilis nagbabago ang mga sitwasyon. So I invite the managers and team leaders to be more, parang shift from traditional way of leading to a new way of leading. They call it agile. So from predicting, commanding, and control, yung sabi nga ng Harvard Business Review, is more learning, adapting, and growing. So learn as much as you can, plan as quick, as frequent as you can, then act on it. So wala na yung talagang napakahabang proseso. So ang bago daw ngayon sinasabi, not just COVID, kasi we will be met with a lot of black swans moving forward. So ang sinasabi dito, that focus on critical path, accelerate yung business processes that are crucial, and then focus on the action and decision. So gan are the habang tools, habang proseso, ano ba kung if you were able to act on it, decide on it, kahit hindi pulido, okay lang. Babaguhin natin yan as we go along, or we will improve as we go along. So yun yung nagbago daw sa sitwasyon and sa environment. And for the staff to be motivated is for the team leaders to be equipped on how to lead them in this different environment that we are facing and we will be facing in the future. For the staff daw, dapat empowerment and independence. Hindi na sila pwedeng sabihan ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pwede na silang 1, 5, 2. Balik-balik ta rin nila, basta ang dulo is quality yung output, walang nasa-sacrifice. So that ability to be independent and being able to judge on their own is very important for them to be motivated in this kind of environment, Miss A. Yun ang long way to go on my part, but at least mga small steps should be on the right way. Parang gano'n.
Yeah, bigyan natin ng konting detalye when you say that the staff should learn na hindi na siya dictated from yung from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are some interventions that you have put in? Kasi ano yun ito na yung gawa ng tao, di ba? Ito na yung nakasanayan niya, no? Tapos ngayon, wala pang face-to-face na na usapan paano mo i-shift 360 yan for some.
Not just the employee, but hindi lang yung staff member, but lalo na yung team leader. Kasi sanay na I have the last say. Di ba? Ganun yung challenge sa kanila. Ang sinasabi at na-observe ko, that safe space So pag sinabi mong okay to fail, panindigan mong okay to fail ha. Kasi pag
Yeah.
inalaw mo siyang magde-decide, lalo na hindi pa sanay, may mga mali-mali talaga yung diskarte. Pag sinabing okay to fail, talagang panindigan natin as team leader na it's really okay to fail at some point. Pag careless na, ay hindi na siguro pwede. So para lang ma-transition yung staff na hanggang kaya na niya maging independent or maging empowered. So yun lang, may transition phase yun. For others, as short as 3 months. For others, as long as 6 months. So alalay and a lot of trust. I think you mentioned that before. A lot of trust.
Yun doon din ako masisegue yung trust building during the process, yung trust ng leader dun sa staff niya na dati parang hindi niya papagkatiwalaan gawin kung hindi siya ang gagawa or kailangan niyang tutukan, and at the same time yung trust din ng staff doon sa sa paniniwala ng leader niya na kaya niyang gawin. Kasi minsan yan sometimes just words na magpapaniwala sa iyo, kasi if your leader would not even verbalize that na kaya mong gawin or nagkakatiwalaan ka, minsan masisense mo, can I really do it, di ba? Yung mga questions or yung mga limiting beliefs na pwede mag-set sa'yo. Kasi ako, for example, my mentor, I will mention him, Ray Quinones. And lagi ko naaalala, the one thing talaga na pinaka magandang ginawa niya sa akin, more than teaching me the know-how and coaching me all throughout the way, is every time I told him na yung kailangan ko na maging independent, I have to be the lead technical person in that bank. Ay ko, rate mo na ako sa samahan, kaya mo yan. Just those 2 words mo yan, kaya mo yan. 3 words na yon, lagi nga inuulit-ulit sa akin yon. Hindi ka ba sasama dito, kaya mo yan. Ang napaka-magical words na yon. Na up to now, pag nire-recall ko kung ano ba yung influence niya sa akin, it's just the kaya mo yan because of the trust. And I think that trust is back up also ng mga ginawa na rin niya sa akin na pagtutok. And yun na yun, yung point na I'm letting you go, you can do it. So that happened like 20 plus years ago. Diba, yung mga ganong eksena na wala pang COVID, batang-bata pa ako, na talaga ako, very young technical advisor. And if that is the same then na learning na to, na I think this situation really taught us a lot, na we can go, sabi mo nga, we can be better if we learn new things. And if those kind of leadership is not what we practiced before, na pero kaya namang gawin noon pa, hindi lang natin ginagawa. Di ba? I think that will really empower more people. Not only sa job, kasi what we do with our work, rin yan nagre-reflect sa buhay natin. And I think that is one of the best thing you can really do with your, diba? With people that you not only manage, you lead, but people that you care about. Kasi kung walang talagang totoong malasakit, diba? Parang transactional lahat.
Ang message ko rin for those listening and watching is, of course, it feels good to hear it from others, but be confident sa sarili mo that you should be able to trust yourself. So that is short of supply these days. I mean, now is not the time, during the pandemic is not the time to be insecure. I mean, kung hindi mo alam, aralin, di ba? So yun lang yun. Kung hindi man, for those na not as fortunate as you are, who has a mentor, please trust yourself. I mean, it should begin within, and then things will follow. So yun lang, invite others. Kasi this time, very tricky. It's easy to be insecure, yung liliit yung confidence. Don't fall into that trap. Self-help is very important. Yun ang invitation sa atin ngayong hapon.
True, very true. We have to have this pause and reflect session with ourselves. We have to talk to ourselves. And yung talking to ourselves is not belittling ourselves. We have to look at the things that what we have done. Eh yun lang, 'di ba? Nakakaharap mo, nakakausap mo nga yung sarili mo ngayon is already something eh. No? Tsaka, and that's why we're doing this is really to share to more people para sabi ko nga, magpadami pa tayo no na matutong magtiwala sa sarili natin, magtutong magtiwala din sa ibang tao. Kasi that's the only thing that we can help and support each other. Not only we can surpass this. Like kung sinasabi, malalampasan natin to together helping each other kahit gaano kalayo tayo, lalo na ngayon na marami ng pamamaraan para mag-communicate, di ba? Kaysa dati. So why not? So any last words, Cauchie, before we end this very beautiful discussion? Na-engage din ako. Hindi lang ako nagtatanong.
Yata hindi ako prepared yung last words. Sorry Ano bang magandang last? Okay, sige. Ang last words ko, be open to surprise yourself. I mean, allow yourself to be surprised both within and from your friends, families, and from the outside, whatever. Allow it to surprise you. Pandemic, the COVID was a big surprise. But how you responded is your story. I mean, of course, it's pandemic and all the true facts about it, but how you responded, how you act on it, how you decide during this pandemic is your story. So thank you.
Thank you
Sorry, I'm
very
very
much.
passionate.
I know.
Makilala ko, medyo ganun nga ako. Sorry. I don't have to apologize. But
ako nga, masabi ko sa'yo na engage din ako rather than interviewing. But that's how we communicate with each other.
Yes.
So natural lang na tayo. So thank you very much for sharing and hope to see you soon. Thank you, Couch.